want to upgrade your wardrobe? Are you looking to add in some new basic tees, some creative designs for your everyday wear? Into the AM, it's a team of artists and creators, and they all share the common vision of using clothing to express to the world what drives you. Into the AM, these guys have developed premium apparel that elevates self-expression, and guys, it provides unparalleled comfort. Their team handcrafts every garment with care. They use the highest quality fabrics and eco-friendly inks. These t-shirts are extremely soft and extremely versatile. You can click the link on my description. I'm gonna get you 10% off on these premium tees. Into the AM's promise is a 30-day money-back guarantee paired with hassle-free returns and lightning fast shipping. They are also running a bundle deal for their graphic tees. Get 3 of them right now for $60. So click the link below. That's gonna get you an additional 10% off. You are Francis's manager. Your job as his manager is to get him a job. What do you do? Now, you have a very lazy approach, which is, well, we can box again, or we go over and do MMA. Got a contract, MMA, got an agreement to box. You're going to find out when you finally arrogantly and misplacedly make those phone calls that you don't have either. I'm going to say, sure, I got a contract right here. Yeah, but do you understand from a business perspective the bet that the PFL made? Because as time goes on, it looks better and better. I mean, there is a very good vision, and there's very smart guys at the PFL. But you need a little bit of time. Right? They don't come out and tell you. You come out and you second guess their decision. They don't then come out and tell you why they made it. They let you just think that. But now that it's been a while, we're starting to understand that the PFL made a bet. And you can be pessimistic or you can be optimistic. They are optimistic. They said, all right, Francis is not worth $5 million today. Now you tell a guy he's not worth something, starts to hurt his feelings. You got a spread you can cover. Can we cover it with him or not? Oh, and by the way, now we got to do $2 million to the partner. I got to come up with $7 million for that fight. He's not worth that today. But he has some very exciting things coming up before tomorrow. He's going to fight Fury. And we have inside information that the WBO is going to sanction it for Fury's title, which means when Francis does come to us and it's time for us to act on the $7 million buy we got, we're going to have the WBO reigning heavyweight champion, perhaps. Perhaps. And perhaps we don't. Now, if the don't side of it comes, we don't have to do anything. If the does side of it comes and he chooses to not come with us, we got to give him that flexibility. And you know what else? We're willing to give you $2 million to sign this contract, which just gives us the ability that should you, by tomorrow, be worth far more than you on today, we have dibs. You look back at what the PFL did in terms of their mindset, you should say, oh, I get it now. I get it now. Okay. But you do need to understand it's a two-way street, right? The same as the story has been told to the public, that Francis will decide if he's coming back to MMA or boxing. Those are polite people that are allowing the story to be told that way. I'm just sharing with you, if he comes back and says, I want to do MMA, you now, those polite people that let the story be told one way will quietly, behind the scenes, let you know, we don't have anything for you right now. Right? You put us in a very hard spot. This contract that we did was based on you beating Fury and being a WBO champion. We're in the exact opposite spot. You were a greater value when you were the UFC champion who never lost the belt as to what you are today. Now, guys, I'm not giving Ngannou a hard time. Not at all. Not at all. We got to really recognize the situation. And one of the first things you have to do is recognize I had some nice guys letting me tell a story a certain way in the media. Let me recheck my brain to know what reality is versus what was said, because you can get lost real fast. Let's juxtapose that over to boxing. I mean, that was the story leading up until 3 days ago. Said he will choose whether he's going to box or he's going to do MMA. Is boxing still an option? That I couldn't fully speak and tell you. To get sanctioning by the WBO for a title match, no, it's no longer an option. But could you still go and box? I mean, I'm not ready to tell you because it's a very different model and objective and plan. I could answer it if you fit. Could you come and box in North America? No. Could you come and box in Las Vegas and expect to sell out a crowd? No. Could you go and box in New York City and expect to fill a house at the Garden? No. I'm pretty comfortable in telling you that boxing is removed for now. That there's going to have to be something between. Well, what could that be? There's only one option, which is MMA. Is MMA an option? And that's where it starts. So all I asked you guys 5 minutes and 22 seconds ago is what would you do? Now I'm starting to give you some of the pieces. I'm starting to let you know some of the headwinds. It was real easy a week ago when you were the decision makers. You had two different avenues, both on pay-per-view. Both where you were perceived to be king. But now there's certain headwinds, right? That's life. No problem. What would you do? I would have done it different. Francis tweeted out. And guys are they're just compelled to make a statement. Francis had said that he had a hard day at the office. In the same way that he had a compulsion to type that, I had the same compulsion, but I had the sportsmanship to not. I never kick a guy when he's down, but you know how hard it was to not respond to that tweet? I had a hard day at the office. You know how hard it was for me to not push go on the message I typed out that said, you weren't in an office. That's the concussion speaking. You got knocked out in a boxing ring. Like, do you know how difficult that was for me to not do? It's very hard to have a reality of the situation. It's so hard. Your phone call, everything you do, you're the star, right? It's hard. It's hard to understand. More people saw your tweet than watched or stole streams to that fight. That's hard to know. It's hard when you walk out there and you think you're the world's biggest star to just simply look left and right and see that the building I'm in right now is not sold out. Like, it's hard to do. But if it were me, particularly being armed with the fact that nobody watched this, I'm going to tweet out 2 words to start things. Early stoppage. Point 1. Right out of the gate. Now, I am a performer, so I might have then followed that up with a little bit of a video, questioning and explaining to all of you how clearly the judges and the official are not sophisticated enough in this sport to understand my strategies. Laid out? How about sprung up, getting ready to pounce all over that bum when you stepped in and waved it off? How about that for starters? I would have taken it from a very different approach. Now, I am a heel, and heels lie. So it would have been a different perspective. But I now have a big gust of headwind right in my face. But I'm not alone, though I seem alone. Because remember that contract I explained to you that guarantees me $5 million? It guarantees my opponent $2, who has already been picked and who's really hoping it happens. So while it seems that I'm alone, I've actually got a partner out there somewhere who wants this story to be salvaged and saved even worse than I do. My manager, behind the scenes, need to call his manager and find out how we put Humpty Dumpty back together again. But I will tell you guys, it's been 4 or 5 days. It already feels different to me. I mean, I must tell you, it really does. Like, that from a competitive standpoint was as bad as it gets. Right? We're 3 minutes into the fight. Okay, great. We've been knocked down 1 time for every minute. 3 minutes into a fight. You have never touched him. It wasn't just he never touched you that did it hurt, right? He never touched him in the face. Joshua touched his body. He never touched his face that didn't put him down. But he never got touched. There was not a strike landed. Again, I don't say this to be a jerk. I'm sharing with you. This is as bad as it gets. It already feels different. Like, I don't really know what we thought Francis was going to do. There's an entire other side, which is the courage of Francis. I mean, this was a boyhood dream and he got an opportunity. And yeah, sure, they threw him a whole jackpot full of money. Francis won me over that he was sincere. I don't think he would have had to have that jackpot full of money. I think he knew fighting world champions of boxing pays. But what's he rumored to have brought in? About 30 million? That is not what he's been brought in. But is that the rumor out there? Is 30 million? I don't think he needed 30 to go and do that, just to share with you. I think he really was pursuing a childhood dream. I think there's an honor in that, particularly when your dream is that courageous. Everybody's got a dream to go attend the World Series and sit near the dugout. Everybody's got a dream to sit shotgun in a NASCAR for a warm-up lap. I mean, I think that there was an honor in what Francis set out to do. I think that story can be salvaged. I think just with a little bit of time, which is where we're at, it has been. We know that time heals all wounds. I'll just give you a great example. One of the bigger announcements in boxing right now is that Mike Tyson is returning. But that's proof that time heals all wounds. What boxer do you know that got a main event coming off a draw against a guy 3 weight classes below him? It's simply never happened. But there's been time between the Roy Jones match and now. I don't know how Mike's career ended. I can't remember because it was a long time ago. But I want to say there was 4 losses in a row. There was something about 4. Maybe his last fight he got knocked out in the 4th round. Or maybe there was something about a 4 that I'm kind of remembering. But who else do you know that had 4 losses in a row, then a draw with a guy 3 weight classes below, that then main evented? It's not something special or because he's Mike Tyson or because we all love it. Time, guys. I'm just trying to prove that point. Time will heal all wounds. We've only had 4 to 5 days on Francis. It already does feel a little bit different. And there's a story that I do feel that Francis needs to tell. And it was not done at the post-fight press conference. Saying, I don't know and not my day and for $20 million, every goddamn day is your day. You need to understand that right now. I see athletes come out to the people and then try to act like they're one of the people. Right? The people worked hard to have the money and plan to set aside time to give to somebody who's going to give that money to you in time that I'm never going to get back. Right? Like, the people have a right to have a bad day. They get up and try them 365 days a year minus holidays and weekends. You went to work twice in the last 2 years and you made 30 million. Okay, I mean, you're still going to have a bad day. I'm just sharing with you. But that is not, I had a bad day. Wasn't my day. It's got to be your day. It has to be your day. Or if you want to be just like me, you're giving me the answer that because if I don't have a day, I don't come back tomorrow. I'm now fired. Are you willing to take that too? Because if you are, I'll get up and walk out of the room. I'm not going to kick you while you're down. So you're going to put out a story. You're going to have talks. It's important you have the right story. It's important that you have the right talks. If you're not ready for that, put the phone down. Just set it down. Walk away. Come back another day. If you don't have the catchy phrase and you know in your heart what it is, if you don't know, hire better writers.